Hello, welcome to one of the Soulprint minis. So there's a lot of sort of chitter chatter about this Governor Youngkin. I think he's in Virginia. I could be wrong. Um, sort of, stepping up to the plate, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, he has already publicly said that he is not going to throw his hat in the ring for presidential nomination. But the chatter keeps going. And I'm wondering if he's not actually starting to get some pressure from the Republicans to sort of step in and kind of save them, right? And this is the thing, right? This is all kind of contingent on Trump either not being able to, not being allowed to, or not being around um, to accept that nomination. And I think that the GOP are starting desperately to try to find an alternative. DeSantis has exploded and imploded, and so he's useless to them. I mean, the latest thing, right? He's running around begging Disney to drop the lawsuit. Are you nuts? You're the one that went after them. You're the one that was gonna woke the whole or unwoke all of Florida, and that included huge corporations. Yeah, no, they're not gonna say, oh, okay, Ronnie, we understand you were a little testy that fine, don't worry about it. They're not gonna have that. So I want to take a look at Youngkin, actually. I'm not sure I've ever actually read on him, so it'll be interesting to kind of quickly step into that energy and see what we've got going here. Youngkin political trajectory, Youngkin political trajectory, Youngkin political trajectory. Now, if I remember correctly, he is still fairly hard right, I think. Man, they just don't want to get off that sinking ship, do they? I bet none of them could smell moderation if they were looking at the word and trying to just say it out loud. For whatever reason, boy oh boy, they seem to think that they should be that that's the route to take. Okay, here we go. Listen, he has been considering it. They have been talking to him. There's a lot of kind of, back and forth sort of going on. He hasn't, since it's sort of circled around again, it feels like he hasn't exactly ruled out the possibility, but he doesn't like the fact that it seems to be contingent on Trump's legal problems, right? He doesn't like being considered the second best alternative. When so many Republicans can see that Trump is not the best alternative, but they will not, although quietly like little mouse squeaks, they are starting to say, maybe he should withdraw, maybe he shouldn't run, maybe we're not going to win if he's our nominee. But it's quiet still. Youngkin doesn't want to be the guy who got in because Trump ended up in jail or wherever he ends up. Okay, that's not the it's not the image he wants. It's not the look he's going for. As of right now, he is really kind of just delaying. He's not thinking about it as reality. He's thinking about it in reality, 2028, that kind of thing, but not now. Frankly, why would any Republican want to step in to the unholy mess that is still trying to get cleaned up? And more importantly, why would most Republicans, independents, or Democrats wish to have somebody removed from office who is actually cleaning up the disaster? Now, there's a lot of Republicans who are, Trump focused and they're not seeing it. And, they're vilifying poor Biden. But that's because they don't have any information. They don't have any accurate information, so they're only reacting to what they're told. They're told is that he's not the legitimate president, the election was stolen, Trump's being persecuted. But lots of Republicans, including Youngkin, recognize that's not the story. The story is Trump left a hell of a mess. And in his head, he's thinking, man, any smart Republican would back away from that challenge. Not going to go there. He hasn't, I don't want to say he's completely eliminated it, but he kind of has. He doesn't like the optics. He doesn't like what's being offered to him. He doesn't think that this is in any way, shape, or form in his best interest. And listen, if you're a political animal, that's where your focus is, right? It's like, what works for me? What serves me best? I really feel like he's going to walk away from this situation. I do not believe, even when the GOP come begging, that he's going to say, you know what, no, there's just not enough pluses for me. And more importantly, he said, I don't want to take over the country when it's a disaster. Let's let the Dems clean it up like they always do. And then we'll come in and we'll start, peeling everything back that they did that everybody liked. So I'm getting a no on him. Yeah, as far as he goes, that his fortunes will rise if he doesn't do this, okay? Because somewhere down the line, he's going to have the right message, a message that people want to hear. They're not, this is the thing, right? They're not ready to hear it. As long as Trump is breathing and walking around, most people simply do not want to hear, anything other than Trump. And, it's sort of ironic, isn't it? That all of those people that fell into line with that lie, and all of those people who supported Trump when it was not in their best interest, sort of, live by the sword, die by the sword, right? It's none of this has served them. It's like they say, can't win with him, can't win without him. So there you have it. I'm going to just do a quick, because it's only 7-8 minutes. So I'm going to do a quick scan on some of the alternatives. Insight, potential presidential nominee alternative. Insight, potential presidential nominee alternative. Insight, presidential nominee alternative. Let's see what we get. Okay. Very quietly, behind the scenes, they are desperately trying to find a way to shore up, rebuild, if you will, some of the walls. This is the thing that's, so I guess, so disheartening. I mean, even if you're not a Republican, I think it's disheartening to see the degree to which these powerful people that are elected to represent the people are completely cowed by the greedy king. Quietly, they're trying to come up with, an alternative. They're trying to come up with something that will get them to a place where they can offer a better message. The problem, however, is that the voting Republican people, by and large, don't want to hear it. They are so emotionally invested in the story that Trump has told that, what you'll hear people say is, well, maybe I would vote for somebody else if Trump wasn't the nominee, I guess then. But by and large, they want Trump for reasons none of us can logically understand, but that's what they want. Emotions are still too high. And I think that ultimately it's not going to, it's not going to serve them. Listen, the big money donors they don't know what to do. Okay. They're not giving money to Trump, or certainly not in the volume that they were. They stopped giving money to DeSantis because he is a walking disaster area. There's all this money. But the big donors are holding on to it because they can't see where this is going to move forward in a way that frankly is helpful to them. Honestly, listen, a lot of them really wish that judgment would come down on Trump and it would basically imprison him, or it would render him unable to run. They want him isolated, surrounded, and kept quiet. And that's why you see things like the Federalist Society coming out and saying, well, you know what? We're not really sure that he can run. We don't think it's legal for him to run. He did take part in an insurrection. So it's interesting that even the Heritage Foundation and the other guys, they recognize that it was an insurrection. They recognize that he was involved with it. Insurrection. Sorry, my tongue. You know what I mean? So it's like slowly, these ideas are being floated. And what they're trying to do in the background is they're trying to build up enough momentum so that there becomes almost like a cascading narrative about how he cannot legitimately run. If they can make that message take hold, then they can find another alternative to send him up, because then the conversation changes, okay? Because it's not, well, we want Trump and we're only going to vote for him. And only if he's not available, only then will we consider somebody else. What they're trying to do is literally make it so he's not available so they can find somebody else that will be attractive to the, Republican voters. Listen, this is going on at high levels. This is not kindergarten stuff, okay? They're really serious. They need to get him the hell out of office. They need to get him out of the public domain, because he has destroyed decades of work that conservative Republicans have done. And he's unraveling it all because he's presenting such a false face. Okay. So I don't know if they're going to find somebody at this point. Honestly, in a lot of ways, I hope that they don't, because I think that the strongest mandate Biden could receive would be running against Trump. I just do. Because there's a lot of independents who are just not going to vote for a Trump. They also don't love Biden, okay? But as long as Trump's the alternative, Biden is in a really, really strong place. Alrighty. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.